Malta, what is your status? Over.
I don't believe it! They're retreating! We won!
This is bad. Real bad.
Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is X and welcome back. I know I haven't been posting in a while, and I'll tell you later on at the end of the video what's been going on, but just to get straight to the point, I told you I was going to make another Halo video. This wasn't the one I was planning to make a Halo video on, but judging on what's been going on, it was just maybe a good way to start off since I haven't been posting in a while. But boy, is there a lot to talk about with this new Halo TV show. So if you haven't heard, which you probably have, the Halo TV series is in production, and they probably told us a little more details about it, which all in all, I hope to God a lot of this information is inaccurate as hell, because I think it actually has a different meaning than what probably a lot of people think what I'm going to criticize it for. There's more to this, I think, than that's actually going on. But anyways, so they came out and they told about the cast of some of the characters and their background, and about 3 or more of these characters have a background that's kind of like a big what the hell just happened. Since I don't have, time to go through every single part of this video because I'm trying to work on other stuff, and I'm going to tell you what that other stuff is at the end of the video, I'm going to give you the rundown of what's been the big problem with this new TV series and why, if this is true, the show's going to probably bomb. And, well, at least the good news part of that is that you'll be able to save money, so you don't have to pay for a subscription for the Halo series, because it's like, if it was actually good, I would have probably considered it, but if this turns out to be as bad as it sounds, at least I'll be saving some money. And I think they really should be considering that, like the same thing with the people that work on the Doom video game. When it came to the Doom movie, they were like, nope, we're gonna have no part of this. And I really feel like 343, if this is really what's gonna happen, they need to do the same thing. They just go, we have nothing to do with this at all. Because they told us that this would actually be well respected, and they'd put in all this effort to make sure there was an accurate movie as much as possible. And what's being reported, it's not even accurate by the slightest. So Captain Keyes is going to be played by Danny Sapani. If you haven't seen him, he's been in a few other movies, and for some reason they're having him play Captain Keyes. Even though, like a lot of other people pointed out, even Hidden Xperia pointed out, he looks like Sergeant Johnson, like he could play Sergeant Johnson, yet they have him playing Keyes instead. They have this actor with great potential for playing one of the best characters that is my favorite character in the Halo series, and they have him playing Keyes. And it's not just because of his authenticity, this guy's a really good actor, and they have him playing Keyes instead of Sergeant Johnson, which makes literally no sense of the slightest. And that's the big part that's like a big what the hell, because he matches the look and everything that they could put him as, and they're not going to do that instead. I don't know why, because they went out of their way when it came to Cortana to get the character to look as accurate as possible. They got this character that had the same kind of facial expressions, that had the British accent, all these kind of things that look on par, as accurate as much as to the character as it could. But yeah, when it came to Keyes, it's like, nah, never mind. And I'm probably gonna go more into detail about why I think that is, and it's not what you think. A lot of people go, oh, it's just as simple, they're trying to race swap, but I actually think it might be another problem that's going on. But I'll skip that now, because I want to talk about some of the other bad characters. The other ones, they have this new character. I'm not sure if I pronounced his name correctly, or if it's a guy or girl, I can't remember. It's Makee. That's a human that was orphaned and raised by the Covenant and resents humanity. This makes so many flaws in the story I'm gonna get down later too, that makes no sense at all. Like, no sense. Because like just right off the bat, if they had a human this entire time, they could just had him go, hey, can you activate this for us? Can you activate this for us? And all those people that are like big time lore buffs go, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't do that. They did it in Halo Wars 1. Random Marines going up to a certain a certain Forerunner artifact could actually activate it. It doesn't need a specific person on certain things. So yeah, maybe they can't activate certain rings because they need a specific person, but it didn't really matter that much to other Forerunner technology. They were able to access it if they were humans. So they could have had this human going around accessing all sorts of stuff. So that literally makes no sense at all. That also means, sorry, I think I'm going to just probably say it all. This makes no sense because that would mean that the Covenant would know about humanity far earlier than the story currently knows them as. They weren't even supposed to know each other yet. They're somehow raising a human. It just makes no sense right there. It's just, oh my god. But if you watch an experience video, he even talks about Miranda Keys and how that makes no sense at all about her entire character. He probably goes into far more detail about that because I'm not too much of a lore buff that I love that much lore, but there's a point where you push it so far that you just sit there and cringe at the name Dr. Miranda Keys, and she's being played by Olive Gray. But again, Dr. Miranda Keys, let that sink in for you for a bit. How weird. That makes no sense at all. I mean, I could go on all about the same stuff that Hidden Experience already said, but it just completely throws all the authenticity and all the timelines of it completely off. It makes no sense. And the amount of stuff that's being pointed out is just, there's no sense at all about her name being called Dr. Miranda Keys, and then the fact that they're saying that Captain Keys was married to Halsey when that wasn't the case, and that somehow she managed, Miranda happened to do all these things supposedly within this timeline before even meeting the Covenant, but is also fascinated by the Covenant, and that makes literally no sense because that's not even true about Miranda Keys at all, and I don't even know where they got that from. And she somehow enlisted into the military but also got a doctorate in the same time, and this was never mentioned in canon at all or anything about this. This just makes literally no sense, just random out of nowhere. This is why you don't use, if you're going to use characters that don't match at all and you're just not going to bother to read the source material, just make new characters. Just make new characters for them. There's no point of these characters that are using already preset source material characters and then throwing in random things that actually aren't canon. It just doesn't make any sense, and I just don't even know. I'm just baffled how this actually got past 343 and said, no problem. Because they said themselves that they were going to watch this carefully and make sure that it was perfect. Or not perfect, but they were going to make sure that they were going to keep as respectful and authentic as possible, and yet that didn't happen. Which ends up going back to making it look like 343, again, is failing the Halo community again. And again, all the reporting could be wrong about this. Everything could be wrong about this entirely, and that we're just getting it completely wrong because of people that are reporting wrong. There's other stuff that I've heard too that ended up turning out to not necessarily have any fact base behind it, like the Spartans are supposedly claimed to be some sort of mercs or something like that. Then there was another claim that Mendez that he supposedly betrayed humanity or something like that. There's a couple of those things that actually were claimed in other sources and then turned out not to be true. So there's a strong chance that maybe that all this is just being totally inaccurately reported wrong and we'll get an update. But if not, I guess I'm going to save money because I don't need to subscribe to Showtime to watch it because it doesn't look like it's going to be any good. But to be honest, I feel like personally, I'm just going to say it flat out, a lot of live actions just suck. Live actions seem to always fail so many times that it's never been, I've never seen any really good live actions of games to movies or TV shows that actually were like, wow, that's actually amazing. There's only like a minor few that were like, they were okay. They weren't bad, but they weren't like anything that was going to be a continuation for a long time. But I don't think any of them were ever blockbusters. I mean, remember World of Warcraft? They were going to make a movie about it, and everyone was going, yeah, they're going to make a World of Warcraft movie. and then it completely flopped. And you remember Doom. They were going to make a movie or something like that about that, and that didn't work out well either. And it appears that this might be the same thing. I mean, from the last couple Halo live actions I've ever seen, like Forward Unto Dawn, to be honest, they look nothing more than just the same thing as a bunch of fans who made their own movie of Halo, and it didn't look that much different, in my opinion. To be straightforward, it didn't look that great. So I don't really even care about that. In fact, most of the time, the only thing besides games when it came to Halo that I liked was actually all the Halo Legends stuff. That was really cool. When they made like animes and stuff like that, that was actually cool to watch. I actually liked that. I think personally that's the route they should have gone. And there's another reason why I think that all this is happening, why they're screwing up so many characters and storylines and everything. I think in reality there might be a financial problem. I think that there's not a lot of money being dedicated to this, that I don't think that they thought they had the means to actually do an entire TV series. So I don't think that they had the funding for it. That's just my guess, unfortunately. I think that they took some characters and they said, like, because I don't even see Sergeant Johnson being mentioned. So if it is true what's being reported, there's a strong chance that they probably had this guy actually already casted as Sergeant Johnson, and then couldn't get anyone to play Keys that want for the pay or whatever reason, and just said, hey, you know what, we'll just merge them together, and that'll be good enough. And that could be also a possibility in the merging the story, because they might not have the financial means to cast all these characters that they want to cast. And if it is, that's not a good sign at all, that they should have ever done this if they didn't have the financial capability of doing so. But I don't know. Again, we won't know until the movie comes out, or the TV show. But yeah, it's just mind-boggling to look at this and go, they call this acceptable. They were saying, oh yeah, this is perfectly fine, we'll go out with this story. But I really just feel like I have a strong feeling that a lot of this is not just like, oh, they're just race swapping characters. I feel like there's a financial side of this, that they do not have enough money to financially cast all these big time characters that they want to run, and so they try to make cuts. And I mean, hell, for all we know, we might not even see these characters, that Miranda and Captain Keyes. They might just be audio, so we might not even notice them. We don't know what's gonna really happen. It's just like there might be just people on like the intercoms or something like that. We won't actually hear anything. There's a chance of that. I don't really know, to be honest, what they're gonna do with those characters, but it feels like there's a strong chance that it's a financial reason that they couldn't cast all these characters, so they start merging some of these characters together by making Miranda Keyes, Dr. Miranda Keyes, to mix in Dr. Halsey. But Dr. Halsey is going to still be in there, but I don't know what she's going to be. So I don't know. I feel like they're just merging characters. I mean, in the whole fascination of the Coveys, I feel like when it comes to that, the fascination of the Covenant, how was it, Miranda? When Halo 2, she was really fascinated by Forerunner technology. So that's another thing that I feel like they're just not even the person who wrote the story is not reading the source material. They're just like that they're looking at it like, oh, Coveys, Forerunners, they're all the same. Why don't we just merge them together and make it so much easier? We're probably not even going to talk about the Forerunners during this period, this time period. It feels like something like that. That's going to be like something like that. Like, oh, why don't we just talk about the Covenant instead? It's just, I don't know. Maybe they're going to say, like, she's just fascinated by their technology, but she's not actually, like, a sympathizer. But I don't know. I really don't know at this point, and we're just going to have to find out when it comes out. But it looks really bad. But that's all I have to say about this. Not to keep ranting on about this, but it's just a big what the hell. And the whole big part that I'm really annoyed by is the whole Dr. Miranda Keyes. Dr. Miranda Keyes. Oh my god. Who wrote this? And who approved it, more so? Like, who said, oh, this is acceptable? But again, I feel like they're running out of time and money to do this. And I feel like they should have just instead done maybe some like animes or 3D animes, kind of like some of those things I saw on Halo Legends. Those were cool. But this is just not looking great, and to be honest, I've never liked any of the Halo live actions. I just don't feel like they can actually do them very well. They're just like, every single one I've seen, like even fan-made stuff, they look the same to me. Forward Unto Dawn and Fall of Reach and the other ones looked kind of the same as all the fan-made stuff that I see on YouTube. The only one thing I can definitely give them props for in those original ones, like the Forward Unto Dawn and the Nightfall, was they made sure those characters were authentic to the characters later on in the game, so they matched up. They made sure they got a character that looked like Agent Locke, and made sure that in the game he looked the exact same. I actually felt like they were identical perfectly. They did a good job. And even though the one kid in Forward Unto Dawn was just like at a young age, he still in the game looked very closely like the original the character in Halo 4. At least they actually tried to match it up. I don't know why they allowed this to happen. I feel like they should have just, just canceled and said, we tried our best, we're just going to cancel it. Either that, if that's how this main story is going to go, they do that, or they tell us like all the reporting's wrong and that they actually have it right, or say we have no part in this, because at this point they might as well just back out and say we're not having anything to do with this, just like they did with the developers with Doom. But anyways, that's the end. I'm going to talk about this. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep ranting on about it. But also to go on to talk about some of the other stuff, like why I haven't been posting as often. Yeah, about that. I've been dealing with work issues, family issues, moving, and relationship issues, so I'm sorry about that. Sorry I have not been posting at all, and on top of that, I am just still constantly just running out of space on my computer trying to delete stuff and make room, and it's hard to kind of keep uploading videos, and I'm already on 3 hard drives, and I'm somehow maxing out, even though I have 1 drive just for games, 1 drive just for storage stuff, and 1 drive just for like all my program, like my main one to run all my programs and stuff. But yet somehow I'm running out of space every time. Even I'm using terabytes, and yet I don't know how I manage to keep pushing the limits of my storage. And I'm trying to put everything on like other things like BitChute and DTube to back it up, and then just delete it off of here to save room, but it's just not working. So I'm still trying to find out how I can clear out more space. So I'm sorry if that's been a problem. I've been wanting to get other stuff out there. Also, I want to talk about the 2 things I've been working on, 2 other videos that I've been trying to work on that also have been taking a while to get uploaded. I haven't even gotten time to start recording and do scripts for, because I'm still working on the source. And those 2 things, one is going to be talking about a Battlefront 3, like what would be a really cool concept of a Battlefront 3, and it literally goes into all this cool stuff. I know it might be fan fiction, but at the end of the day, I thought it would be really cool. But I'm going to wait until the episode 9 and the Mandalorian come out, because I want to have more source material that I'm going to do. So I'm waiting for that, and the Clone Wars show, apparently they're going to do more episodes of that, and also on top of that, they got the Fallen Order game coming out, so I'm trying to use all that stuff as source material that I'm also going to be adding, but I have this whole script ready for that. And then something else that's really cool that I'm probably going to talk about in the video when I finally do upload it, which is the one I wanted to get to, is that Halo custom game list. I stumbled upon something amazing. I'll tell you guys it right now just to make you understand why it's been taking me so long to update it. I've almost got everything else updated from all of these other inputs of other people adding into that list, but this just takes the cake. Yeah, there is so much stuff that I just came across. So I had this whole list of bookmarks of different custom games that existed back in the day, and then I was going to put it into the list, and I did that for the most part. And then there was these 2 links that I had that were from back in the day from Halo 2. They were really popular lists that unfortunately the pages were gone. And I was desperate. I'm like, I need to find this. And I had a crazy idea of trying to use an archive site to see if they may have it saved. And sure enough, I accessed it, and boy, did I access a page of 2 pages, 2 websites to be straightforward, of a big what the fuck. One of them has like about 300 game types on it that existed back in Halo 2, and another one which was called Halo2GameTypes.com, I think it was huge. Back in the day, it was one of the biggest websites out there, and it's been like long forgotten, but it has almost 3,000 game types from Halo 2 on there. So that's why I haven't been finished. And if anyone has any way of being able to download everything, run some sort of script to be able to pull off all the names, all the settings, all that stuff, and be able to import it, God, that would be amazing, because that is insane what they did. What they added was like a big, like right out the door. Like, I look at that list like, there's no way I'm going to be able to add this all. I don't know how I'm going to add this all. I want to do a thing where I can add all these custom games and stuff, and I'm not going to be able to. But I'm hoping that what I'm probably going to do later on, to kind of wrap up this video, I think I'm going to end up later on, when I finally finish everything, I'll probably make a website where people can submit stuff, and then I'll just keep adding new games. Every time they come out with a new Halo game or something like that, where you can make custom games and stuff like that, I'll have a thing where you can submit the map and list the map and game type, so then that way it stays permanently there, and then people can always find it, and the original authors and creators and stuff like that. I'm thinking about doing something like that, but it's going to take me some time to invest more into that. But I'm hoping later on I'll get further into that, and I can finally do a video to upload and thank everyone that actually participated and helped me making that Halo custom game list. I only thanked one person at the part of that, but that was because he saved like over 1,000 game types and maps and modes over by using multiple accounts. But with Halo, it looks like Halo Reach is about to come to the MCC, and it's about to come to PC, so it's not going to be long before those custom games come. So when that does, I want to try and have this list out before that happens and be done with it. So that's all I have to say. Anyways, thank you for watching, and again, sorry I go on these 20-minute videos when I really just want to make them 10 minutes, but I had a lot to say. Anyways, post your comments down below what your opinions are with this Halo TV series, if you're gonna watch it, not watch it, what's your take on it, and leave a like, subscribe, and
drop the bass. Yeah.